Good morning, my friends, and welcome to Fairy Readings. I want to introduce you to this little friend, the magician. The magician came into my life in San Diego at a flea market. And when I saw this figure, I had to have it. The fairy wand was given to me in Mexico by a beautiful woman from the UK who came from working in Alaska for 30 years before she came down to Baja. And it holds a lot of deep meaning for me because she's such a dear friend. And the wand is made of lavender. And so today I know that there's a lot of fancy fixins from the fairies because they do really want to support us. And so I want for you to bring a problem to the fairies because, good morning, Rakesh, because you know what? The playful part of our mind wants to come out to help us thrive. Hi, Sophia, and to help us grow. And the fairies are a little naughty. They're a little smart alecky, and they don't mince words, meaning they will tell it like it is. So as I look up here, I just want to show you the hummingbird feeder has been very busy this morning, and there will be nature activity. Perhaps a butterfly will come and join us, like happened the other day. I welcome all of that. But today I'm really wanting to focus in on the magic that's possible in the fairy world. Hi, Sophia. I'm so glad you guys are here. So, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to draw a card for the collective that will set the tone for the day. All right. And so, let's see here. I think I'm all set. I already shuffled and cut. Hey, Sandra, welcome. And I'm going to flip the cards right off the top. We will go through. If you would like to have a touch of fairy magic today, all you need to do is, I love that, Chris. Isn't it true? Hi, Roxy, my very first troll that I had in my lifetime would have been probably near 60 years ago. I'm not kidding. When I was a kid, 10, 11, 12 years old, I definitely fell in love with trolls. And so when this figure came into my life in my adulthood, I was totally drawn to it. I also want to show you guys this ring that I have on my hand today. This ring also came from a vintage store in San Diego. It's a rutilated quartz, and you might want to Google what a rutilated quartz is because it's quite magical. And then look at that feather. Isn't that fantastic? And so I don't wear this ring much because the feather tends to catch on garments and then it gets bent out of shape. But I thought for a fairy reading, it's perfect. So I put my other ring aside and I'm ready for some magic. How about you? So here's our first message. This is for the collective. And I'm just going to use this as a prop, and it's the Knight of Cups. Okay, so as we look at the Knight of Cups this morning, what I'm aware of is a trooper. This is somebody who has wanted to have love. This energy is for people who may have been waiting years for love. And the Knight of Cups is an offer that's coming our way. So it might be that the offer that's coming our way, because this is a collective card, the offer that's coming our way is that love is unexpected and it is surprising. And it often does not come from the thing we think about. Love can come from anywhere. Even here, right now, there are strangers watching this reading who used to have, uh, aw, thank you, Chris, but we used to have a dream or a vision. My life would be perfect if I had a soulmate. My life would be perfect if my mom was nicer to me. My life would be perfect if that new career would open up. My life would be perfect if I had a lot more money. And the truth is, that might be partially true, but what Abraham Hicks teaches is that your life can be perfect right now if you turn your thoughts up towards something that is working in your life rather than something that's not. So the fairies are here. Look at the strong look on her face. She's like determined. This night energy is determined to draw you into greater joy. So thank you, Fairy Kingdom. Thank you for helping me. I have the troll in my kitchen. The troll overlooks my kitchen, and I usually leave him there. But today, the energy was so much about bringing this outside. I do have you'll be able to hear the hummingbirds that are chattering as they fly in and out of the picture. They always remind me of the fairy world. Sometimes they dive bomb each other and nearly hit me, and I flinch. So if my camera flinches, you'll know what's going on. Okay, so who would love to have? Thank you guys. Aw, Andy, that's cute. So anyway, if you have a problem, I would like to invite the fairies to help you. So if you want to mention that, I don't need the details, and the fairies do not need the details. They're part of the non-physical world, unless we get the blessing of getting to see one now and then. I wouldn't be surprised if some of you, as you're watching this, see orbs. And I don't see the orbs, but you might, and I know you know what I mean. So, who would like to have the fairies dive in and fix what it is that's bugging you? So just add your request. I'm here at your service, as always, and I am grateful that I get to be an emissary, a representative of the fairy kingdom. I received this mug in Mexico, where I have a friend who had a resale shop down there, and I've collected so many things that have come to bless my life as I'm opening myself up to good. So, Chris Williamson, I'm going to pull you a fairy card because you have been so kind. And any of you guys who want to put in something you love about the fairy kingdom, I'm delighted to pull that card for you. So, Chris, this is for you. Whatever issue is in your mind, what does the fairy wisdom have for you? Ah, we have the Ten of Swords. So, let's take a closer look. One of the reasons that I really love and one of the reasons that I love the thorns in this deck, the how nature can be thorny. The swords are about our thoughts and how we can torture ourselves with our own thinking. So, Chris and other people that are listening, when you think of your particular issue right now, what's really bothering you, the fairy fix is to get out a piece of paper, all right? Write down on the piece of paper your problem, and then write under it all your current thoughts about it. This is where you let yourself be honest. Why does this bother you so much? This bothers me because, and then go ahead and write your list. Abraham Hicks teaches that the easiest way to manifest what you truly desire is to allow the problems in your life to speak to you. We don't ignore them, we simply acknowledge this problem makes me frustrated. This problem makes me feel helpless. This problem creates a lot of grief in my mind. You can be totally honest with the spiritual kingdom, whether it's angels, whether it's the divine, whether it's fairies. All of these emblems are created to help humans understand we're not here alone, and there's people who want to help you around you. But if you let your own mind pull you down, you're going to get in a heap of trouble. I use Abraham Hicks. They have literally thousands of videos out there on YouTube. They always say the same thing, which is turn your own mind to something you're grateful for. All right? Once you write the list, Chris, of what it is that's bothering you, you have a launch pad, because the opposite of each of those thoughts is where your wisdom lies. Now, right now, I have 55 people watching and 5 thumbs up. The number 555, I believe, is very important for you, Chris. Please look up the angel meaning of 555. I think you're going to get an extra blessing. Any of you who are over analyzers, do your friends tell you you think too much? Guess what? They're right, but you don't want to hear it from them. Maybe it's easier to hear it from our magician today because there's magic in your overthinking. You just have to flip it so that your overthinking is about how much you think about your potential blessing. When you imagine yourself with your situation solved, you're fixated and obsessing over something that'll bear fruit for you. But if you're an obsessive thinker and bad things keep showing up, there's your lesson. Okay, so Chris, thank you for being here, for being so kind in your comments. I truly love that. Um, Danny G, I don't know anything about clockwork elves. I'm just a tarot reading grandma living in Tennessee, and I love the art of the cards so much, and I love drawing stories from them. That's all I can claim to. The fact that people resonate with that is part of the magic of who I'm called for. Now, I am seeing an orb on my camera, it's right over his hand, his left hand. So I don't know if anybody else can see that, but I didn't see it before. So I feel like the angels and fairies are absolutely here supporting us. If you believe in fairies, hit that thumbs up. Now, there, I don't know how active the fairies are on YouTube itself, but I do know that their algorithms work. So if you hit the thumbs up, you are going to be supporting this work and drawing more fairy lovers to the reading. So hit the thumbs up and hit the subscribe. Okay, so next, Roxy. Love is missing. Well, so you think, but isn't it true, Roxy, that ever since you came into my community, and by the way, you guys, I do have a community. It's on WhatsApp. I welcome you. There is no charge. The email address is tarotinfoplease@gmail.com. And because I'm outside, I'm not in my studio, so I can't put a print of it up there. But if you leave a comment after this video is posted, if you leave a comment, I can contact you that way. At any rate, Roxy, it seems like love is missing, isn't it? And that would be a mindset where you're seeing what is missing instead of what is here, right? So know how loved you are, Roxy, and how quickly you can gather love when you take your eye off of romance and put your eye onto what love is around you right now. But anyway, you didn't come here to listen to Catherine. You came here to have a fairy speak to you and be your fix. What's your fairy fix for today? And we have, let me flip it over so we can see. Now, don't be surprised, my dear friends, if you feel some of these cards are resonant for you, even though you didn't ask. So this is the Ten of Wands. My dear Roxy, look at this fairy. He is exhausted. Look at the dragon. He's trying to tame the dragon. It looks like he's wishing that it was somebody else's job. Roxy, have you ever worked at a job where you not enough people were pulling their weight and you were doing the job of 10 people? I'm getting this exhausted energy that part of you has been working so hard to find that soulmate, that you have had disappointments and that you've been attracted to people that were not good for you. Could that be true, Roxy? Now, right around me right now, the hummingbirds are just whizzing back and forth. So be sure to do a search on the spiritual meaning of hummingbird. I know for a fact that the very first article that comes up when you search for it is going to give you a terrific message because hummingbirds are very busy little birds. They have to hit the feeders or the flowers hundreds of times a day. And if a hummingbird bothered itself with worrying about too much work to do, they would fall right out of the sky. I mean, they are so busy, but they're loving their busyness. So, what this is showing for you, Roxy, is that you're coming to a place of a turnaround. You're seeing the dragon of trying to find your own partner has been useless. The time that you have spent chasing your dreams has exhausted you. The cycle is coming to an end. Your fairy fix is this: the way you have been seeking a soulmate has not served you, and the fairies are tempting you to let go. Now, this fairy's afraid to let go. Look at the thread, that it's a little thread, it's not even a strong rope. This fairy is exhausted, and so are you. So let's lay it down. I want you, Roxy, to get a piece of paper out, and anyone who's looking for a soulmate right now, if your problem is that you're lonely, please listen in. And Roxy, thank you for bringing your concern to the reading, because the magician is here today to make some magic for you. I want you to write a list, Roxy, of what you think is your perfect partner. Everything that you think you want. I want you to write it down, okay? And then I want you to write on a scale of 1 to 10 how much is a deal breaker. Each one, your parameters, your requirements for the ideal partner. Write all of it down, and then write down next to each one, how much do you really want that? Or are you unsure? Because the fairies are going to guide you today. They're going to guide you to release yourself from some things that are happening that are not serving you in your soulmate search. Okay, that's your fairy fix. Roxy is a member of my community over on WhatsApp. And Roxy, I'm so glad you had joined me. Roxy, would you do me a favor and put into the stream my email address, because it will help me to be able to stay focused here on the readings. I appreciate that. Tarotinfo, please, at gmail.com. Thank you, everyone who's joining today. All of you fairy fans. This is my fantastic magician. It's a troll. David said, "What are these dolls called?" And it's a troll. Trolls have been around for years. I'll have to Google and see when they were released, because I may have dated myself before, because I'm a grandma now, but I can remember having a troll as a child. Okay, so just a little review of our scenery. You're going to hear the hummingbirds. They're coming very frequently. You're going to see the beauty of the cloudy day when you're living in a hot place. What a blessing it is. And now back to our fairy readings. If you're having a problem, the magician, the fairy kingdom, and I are here to find a fairy fix for you. Okay, so um, now we're on to Sandra. Sandra, oh, interesting. So Sandra has a career issue, and I love how you asked the question, because we don't need many details. We just need to, the fairies know what it is that you're wanting. They're right with you all the time. And now I can see I have a little tiny orange butterfly. I'm not sure you can even, no, I can't see it from here. But I believe that butterflies have a message for you, Sandra. So be sure to Google the spiritual meaning of butterfly. It will bless you today. Hi, Priya. Okay, so Sandra, let's pull a fairy fix card for you. Fairies, what do you have for my dear Sandra? Turn the card over, and we have the Ace of Wands. Oh my goodness, this is a fantastic card if you're looking for career wisdom. Wonderful. Do you ever wonder how you can gain more confidence when you feel like you don't have the right words? Well, the fairies want you to know that learning how to speak in a way that makes you appealing, that makes you feel like you're open to change, that you are wanting something new in your career, is very, very possible. The Ace of Wands is a start over card. It's the card of passion. Notice that there are no fairies visible here on this card. So the fairies here are in the orbs. Can you see the orbs? So I want you to know, Sandra, that even though you feel insecure about developing new ideas about your career that are true to your heart, is something that is on its way to you. You have followed my work for a long time, Sandra, and I truly invite you into the Fish Out of Water and Friends group on WhatsApp. There's no cost, and I teach this exact stuff. How do we start over when we've had disappointments about our career? We have disappointments about how we're treated on the career, and certainly how we're paid. It's not enough. And so, how do you talk about that without complaining? Okay, so here's a clue. It's one of the fairies' favorite fixes. Got it? So grab a pencil, Sandra. You want to write this down. One of the fairies' favorite techniques is to make up sentences that are really not true right now, but they will be true in the future. I know that's weird, but it works. So, what you do to start the ball bouncing is you say, I remember when. Okay, when we start off our sentence with I remember when, it announces to the universe that you're open for a change. So let me use myself as an example. So there's our little orange butterfly down there. Oh, you can see it, I think. See it? Way down there on the tiny white flower. So the butterfly is here to show you that it used to be a caterpillar, right? A butterfly used to be a caterpillar. So a butterfly would say, I remember when I was a caterpillar, right? Because the fact is, in and whenever you transition from one mindset to the next, you're going from a caterpillar energy where you feel stuck to the ground and you move on to a butterfly energy where you're flying. Now, does a butterfly know that it will, excuse me, does a caterpillar have a consciousness of butterflyness? I don't know. I never asked a caterpillar, but I might want to use my Alice in Wonderland deck and allow those creatures to speak to us. But these two feathers, can you see the feather to the left of the wand? This feather right here, it does not have a fairy orb on it. That's your past. And in this feather, look at the fairy orb right on your new story. So let me use it for my own because I know my own best. I remember when I was in a job where I was not paid enough, but now I'm open to a brand new opportunity. I remember when I was on a job where nobody liked to do their job, and I ended up picking up all the slack and doing jobs that were not mine. And not only that, but I didn't get paid for it. But today, I choose to see it as something that used to happen. I am open for my new opportunity. I remember when I felt so insecure every time I opened my mouth. But now I'm trusting that my divine guidance is going to equip me with new language that matches my future. I remember when there were scary things that happened at work, and I was not prepared to handle it. But now I understand that I do have divine wisdom that is always with me, and I'm going to trust myself to do what my intuition is telling me. This is a fantastic way to break up the ground. You know how if you have a piece of ground and you want to have a new garden, you have to break up the ground to allow new things in. So the fairies are behind you 100%, Sandra, and you are on your way to learning that new language. Remember, you guys, you want to tune in to Abraham Hicks YouTube. What you do, go to the YouTube search and put in there Abraham Hicks new job and just click the search button. They will bless you and you will be laughing when you hear them talk about how you create confidence for new work. Okay, Sandra? Listen, girl, thank you for asking that. Thank you for bringing it to us because the truth is that we're causing our own dilemma believing that we're stuck. right? And the hummingbirds, just so free. They're just a great example of a busy little animal, a busy little creature who doesn't complain about their busyness because they love the job of being a hummingbird. So, Sandra, your only job is to find a way to love the Sandra who's looking for work. All right. So, thank you for being an ambassador. I'm sure you're not the only person here who wishes that they were treated better at work. Okay, let's go on to our fairy fix. Oh my gosh, Roxy, hell yes. Oh, Priyanka, I'm so grateful that you're here. Oh gosh, everybody, let's just put a heart in, click that little red heart that you see off to the right, and thank Miss Priyanka for offering her time in service for me. I just love when people step forward to help me. It means the world to me. Oh, I'm glad you got, let me take a little picture. You definitely, let me get him in better light. There you go. Take a screenshot. The magician, that's my own magician, usually sits in my kitchen overlooking my kitchen life. And today really wanted to come to the reading. So I'm tickled pink to have him there today. Oh, I forgot to show you my fairy ring. I'm filming with my right hand, but here's the fairy ring that I'm wearing. I found it in a shop in San Diego, and it's a rutilated quartz. So those of you who love your crystals, go ahead and Google the rutilated quartz, and that is a fairy message for you today. Also, don't be surprised at all if butterflies and hummingbirds visit your life today, wherever the world you are, because those are definitely our animal spirit guides during these fairy readings. Okay, Rakesh, Rakesh, wonderful. Hi, Manu. Welcome. Dion, welcome. Oh, I'm just so excited for. So what's happening is Priyanka is here to greet you and to help you with my email address because there are so many people on this reading. It's very difficult for me to get to everyone, but I do want for you all to feel a connection with me. So she will be adding the email address. Don't be frustrated. Yeah, I will get to as many of you as I can. So Rakesh is wanting a fairy fix. Rakesh is asking the fairies, what do they need to know? What does Rakesh need to know about finding a true partner in life? So we will draw the next card. All of you guys who are wanting a soulmate, I want you to agree. Just say out loud, I claim this reading for myself. Okay? If you're looking for love, the magician's instructions, the fairies are asking, agree with this card. Agree that this card is for anyone seeking a soulmate. Aren't the fairies bossy, you guys? Okay, let's turn this over. I can't wait to see. Oh my gosh, isn't this beautiful? It's a couple. Okay, so this is our first fairy card of the day that there's a couple. And so I'm very grateful, Rakesh, for this wonderful card being drawn for you. And again, anyone wanting a soulmate. Because this looks like a happily ever after card, doesn't it? It looks like these two fairies are happy, 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 and that they are living with a love relationship. Well, guess what, you guys? There's a bit of a surprise here. Okay, there's a bit of a surprise because this is not the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups is the card for manifesting a partner. If I were doing a private reading for you about love and the Two of Cups came up, I would be celebrating with you. But this is very sneaky of the fairies. And as I've come to know the fairies, I know that they're sneaky little critters and they sneak in to try to get your attention. Let me show you what the problem is, Rakesh. Let you peek around the corner. Look at what that says. Two of Swords. Two of Swords? That's a card of fear, doubt, and anger. What? Now, why would the fairies start the reading with a couple that look happy? But the truth of this card is caution. All right, I love this for you, Rakesh, because I think that you're doing a lot of overthinking. I think you may overanalyze why it is that you're not in a partnership. Little do you know that in your past there is disappointment and frustration that you think is not bothering you anymore. You're an intelligent person, and you know that the past is the past, right? And you know you don't want to attract someone like the past relationships that caused problems. But any relationship can go sour. And even a mother and a child who are supposed to be close, they can go sour and it can be very painful. So, fear and anger can cause a snag in your manifesting energy. Is this bad news? Of course not. It's just showing that you might have some unreasonable expectations about love. Anyone who is really wanting a soulmate, you may have a fantasy of true love where you think once you find your person, you'll never have a problem again. Now, even when I say that, it sounds silly, doesn't it? But what this is showing is you have some housekeeping to do. Abraham Hicks calls it cleaning up your vibration, where you can sweep away the illusion. Okay, so this orb here, it's a blue flower, and so blue is the color of your throat chakra. So even though this looks like happily ever after, it's really like two people afraid to speak their own truth to each other. So the fairies want you to be happy, Rakesh. And the fairies are here to fix what's going on. And their fix is you are thinking too hard about this. So, what you're going to do is go to the resource box, that's the description box. There is a very special technique in there. It's called the soulmate generator. I created it myself. There's no charge to use it, but it will give you directions on how to clean up your vibration so that you can stop thinking so much and start trusting the divine. Now down here in our corner, we have two pink roses, and can you see the orb? The orb is there to tell you your future is in your hands. Do what you can to clean up your own vibration. Oh, here's a great thing. If you look up Abraham Hicks YouTube and search for soulmate, they teach about soulmates that's very fairy like because their view of what a soulmate is will make you laugh out loud. All right? Whoever is resonating with this, I know it's just not Rakesh. Please add your thumbs up because that will create a loop where your energy joins my energy. Don't you want that fairy energy to follow you for a week? Now, mind you, I do every Sunday morning I'm here with fairy readings, and I believe the fairies want some accountability. What are you doing to create magic in your life? Learn how to deal with your disappointments, and your love will come speeding to your side. Roxy, I know this is true for you too if you're still listening. Okay, so Manu is here. Hi, Manu. Hi, Diane. Manu, what is it that you're wanting from the what is it that you're wanting from the universe? What is it, Priyanka? Yes, Rakesh, I'm so glad you want to join me. Um, uh, and Priyanka, just put our email address in there. Um, it's tarotinfo, at Gmail. So excited because I am doing, have you guys ever heard of tapping? Tapping is a technique that you can Google. There's a man called Tap with Brad. He's my personal mentor. I love him. But I have a tapping club where I do demos at no charge, and you're welcome. Come in and try it. It changed my life. It changed my life forever. I've been tapping over 20 years now. Okay, all right. And Manu, you're here and you would like, oh, thank you, Roxy. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. So, Manu, let's draw a card for you and let the fairies. So, everyone who's new here, you're just tuning in. I'm Catherine. This is Fish Out of Water Tarot. And every Sunday, we ask the fairies for their special guidance and wisdom. This morning, when I woke up, I was feeling very frustrated over a very silly problem. Yes, even Catherine gets frustrated. And I turned on some Abraham. Now I'm definitely seeing an orb right now. I'm seeing an orb floating in the picture. It's right about here. So if y'all see that, very cool. Some of you may, some of you may not, but I just know that the fairies are all over this energy of clearing our energy for new love to come in. So Manu, what is your fix? What do you need? I woke up this morning and I felt like fairy fixes. How can we allow the fairies to fix our problems? How can we use fairy energy? Okay, so let's take a look. Isn't she beautiful? Our beautiful fairy and of the moon. The fairy of the moon. Let me just turn, I'm just going to turn my little fairy a little bit. Turn this a tiny bit. Let's see, there we go. Okay, so Manu, and others, if you're confused, anybody who's on the reading that feels confused, hit that thumbs up. Join Manu. There's no question that these fairies today are greedy fairies. They want to help as many people as possible. Now, I just had a burp, not that I need to share my body with you, but I move energy physically. It's one of the things that's part of my gift. I feel energy in my body and I can feel where the blocks are. So, right now, Manu, you're definitely having some issues around speaking your truth, that it's hard for you to howl at the moon. I love that wolf. But it's hard for you to speak up because sometimes you feel like you might hurt someone's feelings. And you feel, well, I love her face. It's like, well, I guess I don't need that. Well, I guess that's not that important. But when I hear that hummingbird chattering above my head, I know that's not true for you. You have been very brave in holding back your tongue and not saying things because you don't want to hurt people. But the truth is that that holds you back from what it is you're wanting. Look at these gorgeous flowers that surround her. See that? Where I live, they have a game. I learned to play it as a child when I very first had a crush on someone, where you pick that flower and then you pick the petals off one at a time. He loves me, he loves me not. He loves me, he loves me not. And you just keep going until you get finished plucking the petals, and then whichever you pluck last, that's the answer. So if you're lucky enough that you come to the end of the flower and it says, he loves me, then you could feel good about yourself. Now, I know that's just a foolish game, but the truth is, Manu, that you've been kind of playing games with what you really want. The fairies are saying, get serious, wake up. What do you want the most out of everything? No more childish games, Manu. What is it? Pick one thing that you can focus on, right? What is most important for you? Is it for example, is it your career? Is it wanting to reconnect with a family member? Is it to not be so hard on yourself? What is it? Focus. This week, you come to my readings all the time, Manu, and I totally love your energy. But right now, I have 41 people watching and 14 thumbs up. There's something about those numbers, 4 and 1. So definitely peek into Google. You guys got to follow up on here because I can't do everything for you. But look for the spiritual meaning of the number 41 and the number 14. There's something there for you, Manu. But at any rate, before next week's fairy reading, see if you can throw aside some things that simply aren't important. Get focused on the one main thing you want to manifest. Okay, it's kind of a tough little message for you, Manu, but then again, the fairies are not shy about speaking what they think is important. All right, so let's go on to our next person. I'm just going through here slowly because I don't want to miss anything. And we have Mashi from Mashi Creation from Sri Lanka. Okay, and so Mashi, what is it? Let's pull a fairy card for you. All right. Thank you very much. Manu and Priyanka are having a private look at that beautiful language. Oh my gosh. You guys, I am so blessed. I am blessed beyond words. I think the fairies are up to some real magic here because I attract in these fantastic people to help me who can translate into messages that I can't do. And so, everybody, hearts, abundant hearts for Priyanka, who is volunteering her time to help me. My heart is overwhelmed. I'm very grateful. Excuse me, I have a little emotion. Okay, Mashi. Oh my goodness. All right. Aw, Mashi, look at that. So everybody, let's send up love for Mashi. Let's everyone just in your mind, in your spirit, let's thank the universe for bringing Mashi here today because the fairies want to talk to you. There's a fairy fix for your problem, Mashi. Let's draw a card and see what the mission, see what we have. So hold on, let me flip the card. If you guys are enjoying this, be sure to click the subscribe button and click the beautiful bell button so that you'll be notified every time I go live, which is every day. But on Sundays is our fairy day. Okay, so let's take a look. What is it that the fairies want for you to know? The Three of Wands. Okay, let's look here. What's going on? Let me just reflect on this. All right. So the Three of Wands is a, hold on just for a moment. Let's all take a breath with me. So the fairies want you, my dear Mash, I don't want to say your name the wrong way, Mashi. The, the fairies have a very important message. And this would be for anyone whose dreams are broken. Okay, so if you are like Mashi and you feel that a dream has been broken, please hit the thumbs up because that will complete a loop here so that we can really go deep into this message for everyone who has a broken dream. This Three of Wands shows you that even though you feel like something cannot be restored, even though the break in your dreams seems to have torn out your heart, this is not true. You're being a little over dramatic. I'm sorry to say that because I don't want to offend. I don't want to hurt your feelings. But there is something good in the breaking of this relationship. See how that one fairy is busy in their book? This is a book of happy memories. This is a book of gratitude. Now, gratitude is the secret sauce. Being grateful when you're feeling broken changes your life like nothing else. And even though the person in your life who caused this heartbreak, even though it's easy to blame them because they did act like an arse, like a horse's arse, this person's behavior was immature and hurtful. However, there was also something about this person that was a blessing, right? So when you do evaluate, when you go over your past situation, what we're wanting to do is to allow yourself to focus on anything that was going well in that relationship. Now, let me give you an example from my own life. When I was approaching a divorce with my husband, I had nothing I was grateful for. I was in a terrible situation. They did not know how to treat someone respectfully, and they did not know that their own life was not ruined by me. And so it was difficult. And so I couldn't. One of my coaches said, you have to find something to be grateful about, or something you like, or something you appreciate. Well, guess what? He was an excellent photographer. Okay. I was able to say, this person is an excellent photographer. Now, part of me did not like saying it because I felt like praising him felt like I was being disloyal to myself. But on the other hand, photography has nothing to do with me and has nothing to do with our relationship. So then I thought, it's true. I can appreciate that they are a good photographer. And then what popped into my mind, they are an excellent car detailer. This man would spend 2 hours polishing his automobile. He would scrub it, he would wash it, he would spray special treatment on the tires, he would clean the windshield wipers, etc. Well, my car's lucky to get a bath once a month. I mean, we were opposite there, but I could appreciate that he was good at something. So, Mashi, this is your goal. Grab a piece of paper. See if you can write down positive aspects around your ex, positive aspects around your previous heartbreak. It's there. Now, there's a special resource. Anyone who's struggling with a breakup, and Priyanka, you could put this into the chat. It's called the breakupcandy.com. Breakupcandy.com. This is a website that I wrote. It's my blog. I haven't been able to keep up with it, but the truth is never, it's called an evergreen website because it has constant help for anyone who's in a breakup. We must find positive aspects of any broken heart before we can find new love. Okay, so do check up breakupcandy.com for further help. Okay, so I'm just going to sit back for a little bit and grab a sip of tea. Thank you for allowing this break. I'll just pull us up here to watch the hummingbirds. This brief break for Catherine to take some tea is brought to you by the hummingbirds. The hummingbirds are here today to remind you, keep on going. No matter what happens, never quit. And now a sip of tea. Mm. Oh, that tastes so good. Green tea with oat milk, for Pete's sake. I don't know what I did with the other Catherine, but this Catherine who's having an appetite for green tea and oat milk is somebody I barely recognize. Which I want to tell you, don't be surprised if once you start wanting to live out. I mean, this is my vine. Isn't that gorgeous? Now, this is supposed to be a morning glory vine, and there's supposed to be purple flowers all over it. Well, guess what? It didn't get any flowers. Isn't that weird? But I so enjoy it because it's a beautiful bunch of leaves. And not only that, but my little hummingbirds love it. And so even though I could be angry at the seed company, and I could be frustrated that not one single flower grew on there, I can also find something sweet about it, which is that the hummingbirds are sheltered from the heat of the sun under those leaves. Okay, thank you for being here with my commercial break. Be sure to hit the subscribe button so that you're notified, oh, the bell, so you're notified every time I come out to do my readings, and also the thumbs up totally is a blessing for me, and I appreciate your love and support. And so let's go back to our readings. Thank you. Thank you for letting me take a little bit of a break. And let's see here. Ruty, I think that you are next. Ruty. So hold your person in your mind. I've already done a couple of soulmate readings today. So when I post this, I will have timestamps. And so be sure to come back and listen to the various readings because you'll even have more of a blessing. So Ruty wants to get married. Oh my goodness, Ruty, I am so grateful. I hope that you were here for that reading about how sneaky the fairies were and the need to clear yourself of any heartbreak energy before you get married. You know why? Guess why? I wonder if anybody knows why. Do you want to attract more heartbreak in your life? If you're carrying the energy of heartbreak, you will attract heartbreak, right? So we definitely want to have a vibration of love. So fairies, what is the fix for our friend Ruty who wants to be married? Let's see. Okay, and we have the Five of Swords. All right, so let's take a look. And this is all about Ruty wanting to be married. Okay, so I see my orb is here floating around on the right side of the card. And so I know that the fairies are here for you, Ruty. Now, when I look at these two fairies, it looks like the fairy over here is giving advice to this fairy. Can we agree? Can you see how this fairy, the head is bowed? The head is bowed in deference. Deference is humble gratitude. It's quiet, and it means that this fairy is accepting guidance. Now, who is this fairy here? Who does she represent? Let's see, let me reflect. I'm also aware of the many orbs that are in the picture. And can you see the castle in the background? Ruthie, I feel like the castle in the background is the symbol of your marriage. See, it's not in focus. It's hard to see. It's in the future, but it's there. So, Ruthie, the first thing to be grateful for is that your marriage is in the fairies' vision. The fairies, the angels, your inner being are all non physical for the most part. Many times we receive the wisdom of the non physical through our human friends, through our human connections. So, Ruthie, I'm wondering, is there a family member, an auntie, a grandmother, a mother? Who is the most positive female figure in your life right now? There have been some things that have happened in your past that have they've bruised you. There are some things in your past that have bruised you. Look at this flower right here. Can you see the teardrop? Can you see how the flower looks a little withered? The thorns of life have been trying to get your attention, my friend. Ruthie, the people that have hurt you in the past, there's been some blame. Ruthie, you're not alone. God help me. Blaming people is something I have to guard against all the time because it's just easier to blame somebody else than it is to take our guidance. But today's reading is very clear. Your marriage, there it is. Roxy, if you're still here, this is a great card for you to be looking at because what you're wanting is in the reality of the non physical. Got it? How do you make it physical? You need to have a guide, you need to have loving female energy who can help you know how to let go of the tearful past so that you're ready to be in relationship with someone. This is a hard message in a way for people that are loners or they want to do their own thing because part of you needs to realize you need to learn. And honestly, a trusted female guidance would be very beneficial for you right now. Now, if you're resonating with my voice and you feel I could be helpful to you because I am human, see, if you feel I can be helpful, come to my community. It's no charge. I'm there every day. I do private messages to that group that come right from my heart. And you can participate in that because all of us will find our manifestations more easily if we have a mentor. And this humility that it takes to bow your head and say, yes, please, what can I learn? This will make a wonderful partner to anyone. Okay? You are destined to be married. It is in the cards, but your destiny is in your hands. What can you do to sit at the feet of someone who knows how to guide you? There's someone in my neighborhood right now. I just met her. She just moved in. Guess what? They were married for 70 years. 70. She reminds me of Carol Burnett. Do you guys know that actress, comedian? She has a huge smile. She's a cheerful person. She just went through the loss of her dear husband only 1 year ago, and she is able to be cheerful even though of that terrible loss. Do you know what? I can't wait to go sit at her feet. I don't know that she even believes in fairies. I don't even care. But any human who can live with another human for 70 years, I want to know about that human. And so I'm going to be sitting at her feet. I don't need to tell her about fairies and angels. I need to listen. What are her keys? How did she manage not to pinch his head off, right? How did she manage to walk him through the Alzheimer's that took his life? I want to know about her. So that if I can do it, you can do it. It's in your hands, Miss Ruty. What a fantastic reading. Thank you. If you guys could resonate, if you guys are looking for soulmate, pop your thumbs up. Join the energy here. I can't explain why that works. I just know that it works. That when you engage with the channel, you get more out of the reading. I don't know why, but it's true. So I'm going ahead here. See who else is here and would like to. Hi, Varsha. Varsha. Oh, I'm doing EFT tapping, Ruty. Oh, I'm so glad Brad is your favorite. I do have a tapping club. That's Murphy you hear barking. I do have a tapping club, and I'm starting my own personal tapping group within my community. So you definitely want to be in it. I'm going to be doing 10-minute demos that are free of charge. I'm also going to do tapping clinics for those of you who want a little bit more from me in that arena. Okay, so once you ask your question once, Ruty, you never need to ask again. All right? Just if you repeat the question, it shows that there's a that's not a very respectful way to be. So we come back here. Now let's say I'm the fairy and I'm giving you guys directions for how to use these readings, and you are ignoring me. It's a sign that you're holding off your highest good. I'm sorry to be so blunt. You only need to ask one time. I'm going very slowly. Many of you have put in comments that I can't see because I'm going person by person. So thank you for your love and respect. No, you can just write, please include me in the group. Just ask for what you want and I'm happy to do it. I can't wait, Rakesh. I love your energy. There's some of you that have been on many of my readings, and I am definitely encouraging you to join my community. Priyanka, isn't it true that the community is okay for everyone? So Priyanka, I'm going to draw a card for you because of your faithful service to me, of course. So I'm going to do that next. And then I'm going ahead. Hi, Jordana. Welcome, my friend. Okay, Ruty, I keep seeing your message over and over again, so please know that you only need to ask me one time. Thank you so much. And so let's go here. We are going to draw our card next for I love that you could relate to the plucking petals, my friend. Okay, and Jordana, you're going to be next. I'm so tickled. Thank you guys for complying. And you know, I find the fairies are very sassy. When I read the book Peter Pan, well, I actually listened to it on audio. Those fairies were much naughtier than they were in the movie. So fairies are sassy. Fairies are not going to mess around with you. Fairies want for you to have what you're wanting, and I love them, but don't expect them to hold your hand and say, oh, poor thing, poor little thing, because that's not what they're about. Right, everyone? throw in a heart or 100. Click the 100 button, right? Isn't that 100% true? The fairies are not going to sit here feeling sorry for you. So next to Priyanka and then Jordana. Priyanka, my dear moderator, you're so faithful to me. I appreciate. And Priyanka is in my private community. Intensely grateful for her energy in my world. Okay, so Priyanka, this is the Tower. Okay, let's take a look. This is another one of those cards that does not have any fairies pictured. And so the message of this card, Priyanka, is that there are many natural storms of life. There are things that happen to all of us in our lives, and they can be definitely challenging. There is somebody that I dearly love who's a member of my community who had a fire a couple years, 2021, and that fire destroyed many valuable things. And it was a heartbreak. And she still feels the energy of that storm. We can never protect ourselves from life. Life creates situations that we cannot stop. So when people say, "Is it true, Catherine, that I can create my own reality?" And I say, "Yes." And they say, "Well, why did I have a fire in my house? I didn't create that. How can I justify when some sort of storm happens in my life?" And what I do is I say, well, first of all, I always use Abraham Hicks. Always. When something is going on, I go to the search window on YouTube and I put Abraham Hicks, my son is depressed. This is true for me personally. I was in the middle of the night, worried for my adult child, and I used this technique. I call it Abraham Bingo. And the very first YouTube that came up about being worried for your son, I listened to. And the wisdom that poured out was like rain that would put out the fire of my worry. Okay. So, whatever problem is going on for you, Priyanka, whatever has disappointed or hurt your feelings right now, the first step is go to the YouTube search window, not right now, after, and put Abraham Hicks and then name your problem. I need a husband. My job is not satisfying. Will I pass this exam? Whatever your problem is, you put it into the search window with Abraham Hicks. When you hit the return, you will have audio or a video pop up. Listen to it, okay? Because the truth is, we create our reactions. That's where your deliberate creation comes into play. If you have a storm, one of my storms was going through a divorce. It was terrible, painful. Lightning was flying all over the place. And there was unkindness. There was blaming. It was not pretty. So, for me to be able to think, how can I create something? I can create my reaction. When I feel myself angry, I could say things like, even though I feel so angry, the truth is I need to move forward and I'm willing to do what it takes. Even though my heart is aching, there's a part of me that's here supporting me because I need to move forward. So, as you use your language to recreate what's happening, you will create something new. This energy is very powerful, and tapping definitely helps if you're in a storm. See the butterfly flying over? Oh, no, it's not a butterfly, it's a leaf. I thought it was a butterfly. Do I see a butterfly here? No. And you know what? There's no orbs on this tower card. Remember how, well, I see an orb like my own reflective orb that comes and goes, but there's no circles. So the fairies want you to know that in the situations when you do not feel the non physical, when you do feel like even the angels and fairies have abandoned you, that's false. Abraham calls it a false premise because your unseen helpers are unseen. Got it? It's not an accident you're not feeling spiritually connected right now. This is a hard time. So here you are watching this reading, right? How more magical is that? So, Priyanka, you are a member of my community. You're in the right place. I'm going to be doing tapping demos that are at this time of day. So, it'll be a time you can attend. So, tell your friends, bring in people who need to have a change and who really want to cope better and use the cards that are dealt to you to get closer to your divine wisdom. The last piece for you, Priyanka, and anyone who's going through a difficult time right now. Can you see the top of the tower got blown off of this tree? That's like your crown. So there's things, the way you've been thinking in your brain, in your mind, has been mistaken. Okay. So you need to have a almost like a blowing off of your old way of thinking, and you'll be able to say, look, this is not working for me anyway anymore, and I need something fresh. Now you guys are not going to believe this, but it's starting to rain. I'm not even kidding you. Rain, see if you can see it on my bird fountain. But honestly, Priyanka, this is a beautiful affirmation for you and for everyone. Nature provides rain that will put out fires. And so the very fact that the rain has started right now, the hummingbirds don't give a hoot, they will keep feeding. And we celebrate the rain for um, solving the parchedness of life. The dry areas of life are solvable. Your fairy fix is to cling to your inner knowing and be willing to introduce new thinking into your mindset. Okay? Wow. I'm so grateful for that. Yesterday, I had such a frustrating day. I was very frustrated, and it wasn't at a person, it was at technology because I love to do the readings, but when it comes to doing all the YouTube stuff, I'm like, oy vey, I don't know how to do it well enough. And so I struggle. And I had to just slap myself across the face and say, wake up. What is going well in your life? What do you love? Well, I love this. I love the cards. I love my dogs. I love the freedom to come out here outdoors and share a fairy reading with the hummingbirds and the butterflies. And so I can recreate my frustration by changing my reaction to it. If you want more of that, you want to be in my world, come and join my group. There's no charge. You can just hang out with me, and I talk about how I recreate my thoughts every single day. Okay? Because this is not a destination. Manifestation is a journey, not a destination. Can I hear an amen from the peanut gallery? Anyway, speaking of parched, my throat is parched, so I'm going to pause for a brief tea break. Thank you. Don't give up on me. I'm here, but I need to take a bit of a break. Mm. Oh, yummy. So delicious. I love green tea and oatmeal. Thank you so much for helping to keep my stream positive, my dear Priyanka. And I bless you for that. Thank you. Jordana, so welcome, welcoming you, your beautiful energy back to the stream. And so I'm going to draw your fairy card just one moment. Can you believe that the rain came as part of our manifestations today? It's just the fairies are all over it, aren't they? So you got a problem, something's bothering you. The fairies don't want you suffering. The fairies want to guide you, but the fairies are not overly optimistic. They are realistic and they will tell the truth. So let's see, Jordana, what is it that the fairies have for you, my friend? My magician, those of you who just joined, this beautiful little doll was I found at San Diego's flea market, which is a fantastic place to go if you're ever visiting there on Saturday. But it was years ago. It could be, honestly, it could be 15 years ago. No kidding, that I found this. The minute I saw this troll, I had to have it because I had trolls as a child and I'm a grandma now. And there's something so magical about him, isn't there? Do you know that some of my followers don't like him at all? They think he's creepy. And I'm like, aw. So, Jordana, let's see. If you're having fun with me today, hit that thumbs up, would you? It's such a blessing for me. And that's all it takes to get these readings, is just to bless me and the fairies with your engagement on my channel. Also, hit the subscribe and that bell so that you're notified every time I go live. And Jordana, the Hanging Fae. I love this card for you. So now remember on the Tower card, there were no orbs. And on this card, see the orbs? So this one is an interesting card because sometimes after a storm, the person thinks to themselves, okay, wait a minute, wait a minute. I just went through that tough time. Was I supposed to learn something? I don't want to have that happen again. What positive was in that experience? So, for you, Priyanka, I feel like this is a backup reading for you. But sometimes when people see this energy, they think, oh no, what happened to that fairy? Who tied her up? Who stopped her from flying? What circumstance trapped her? And guess what, guys? It's the opposite energy. This is a time when a person decides for themselves that a break is important. I'm noticing this bud here, Jordana. Can you see the bud? It's not a full flower, is it? Now, there are full flowers, and actually, those are the kind of flowers that should have bloomed on this morning glory, the morning glory. On the morning glory vine, the flowers bloom in the morning and they pass away in the evening. They have 1 day of life. Now, in this vine, not a single flower bloomed. I don't know why, but I had to create beauty out of it in my mind because, quite frankly, I think it's beautiful without flowers, and that's my choice. I could be sad, disappointed, or even annoyed that no flowers came, but I choose a different path. So when I come back over here to your card, Jordana, what I'm seeing is that maybe some of the things that you wanted to have manifest have not happened, and that has been frustrating. But what the fairies are wanting you to know is that every time that something does manifest, it's satisfying only for a minute, right? Because it's the desire that's so fun. So, as you have put yourself into a pause, and the fairies are saying, use this time wisely. What is it that you truly desire? Allow yourself the privilege of writing down a list. If your life was perfect today, what would you be experiencing? I feel like she's saying, hmm, like she heard me ask this question. She raises her hand to her face and says, hmm, what is it that I'm really wanting? What is it that I can have that I'm not aware of? This is a precious opportunity, a pause. I feel the fairies don't want you to be too busy, that there is something coming that's going to need a lot of your focus and your attention. You're going to know it when it comes. You may get goosebumps, you may get a shiver, but something in you is going to remember this reading and you're going to think, oh my gosh, this is what the fairies were talking about. This is my fix. Jordana, are you a person who tends to overanalyze by chance? Are you someone whose friends tell you, Jordana, you think too much? Because you know what? There's a kindred spirit. My friends tell me, Catherine, you think too much. And I'm like, excuse me, but fuck you. I'm so sorry, but I want to say that because I love to figure things out. I love to see how things work. But if it's standing in my way from getting what I truly want to be adjustable. So the fairies are saying, imagine that you have a little dial and that you can adjust yourself. You know, like you turn the dial and you can dial back. You're over analyzing. and you can dial up your rest and trust. Now, there's a wonderful woman online, Jessica Heslop. Her YouTube channel is I Love the Life I Live. I love this woman. Her meditations and affirmations are spectacular. My favorite these days is called the Lucky Girl Syndrome. Now, I know you can get a lot of people doing that particular theme, but Jessica's is really magical. So I'm going to put it into the community right here on YouTube after the reading is done to make it easy for you. But I strongly recommend that you listen to Jordana. This is your homework. Listen to Jessica Heslop's Lucky Girl Syndrome. All right, and Jordana, I would love to have you in my community. So if you're curious about that, you can email me, and Priyanka is always adding that email address into the stream. It's raining now, and you can see. Can you see in my little water fountain for the birdies that it's petal drops of rain, and you can see that it doesn't bother the hummingbirds. They're like, oh yay, it's raining. And so I think the message of the hummingbirds here is don't be afraid to go out in the rain. It might be a good idea to take a walk in the rain, not when there's thunder and lightning, but grab your umbrella and do it. Be in nature when it's raining. Raining has such a beautiful cleansing effect on nature, and everything looks so free. All right? Isn't it beautiful, you guys? I'm so blessed to live here. Is my life perfect? Hell no. I have things that I want to manifest that will change my life, but I'm looking and searching for the things that I love and the things that make me happy. And so I'm so grateful that you guys are here because sharing my life with you is making my world such a better place to live in. So anyway, so bless your hearts. So many people watching. I appreciate you so much. So I'm going through and seeing, um, you know what, as they, Ruty, thank you for that point. As the hummingbirds have their pecking order where they figure out whose turn it is at the hummingbird feeder, it seems like a fight, but it's a natural thing. One time, I have 7 brothers younger than me, and there was so much fighting in the way I grew up. It was very, um, troubling. I didn't like it. My parents fought. Everybody was fighting. My dad hit my mom. That was very inappropriate, and I was just surrounded by all of that. And as the oldest of all those brothers, it was impossible for me to understand what normal was. Well, guess what? I went to the zoo, and at the zoo, I saw lion cubs fighting with one another, growling at one another. And then I would go to the gorillas, and I'd see the baby gorillas wrestling on the ground. And then I worked at the pet cemetery, and the owner of the pet cemetery, I was afraid my dogs would be hurt if they played or fought with other dogs. And he said, no, dogs are meant to find their pecking order when they have a fight. And I'm not talking like a deadly fight, but when they have a tussle together, an ear can be torn. And he goes, torn ears are no big deal. And I was like, no, no, 1,000 times no. I don't want my dog to have a torn ear. And he said, yeah, but you prohibit the dog from being a dog because there has to be a king dog. And the dog has to have dominance over his family or his tribe. And the only way to do that is to fight. So it taught me such a valuable lesson that even if something in nature looks like it's fighting, it's part of a sacred dance and it's okay. And it took me, I'm 71, it's taken me a lifetime to learn that. So thank you, Ruty, for bringing this to the table. Okay, so now going forward, Sophia. Oh, Sophia, I'm so glad. This reading has had a lot to do with love and looking for soulmates. So Sophia has actually met someone and she's guarding her heart. Can you guys feel that? Can you feel that energy? She says, I would love for the fairies to advise me about someone I met and I'm really interested in. So this is a different energy, Sophia. This is not the energy of someone who doesn't know the person and they're really wondering, will I meet someone? So I am so glad you're in my community, Sophia, because we are going to be doing tapping for this very issue. How do I know for sure? Who is this person? Is it a person that I'm going to know for a season? Is it someone I'm getting to know for a reason? Or is this person someone that will be in my life forever? I did not make up that quote, I just quote it, but that's the energy I'm sensing. So, anybody that's hearing my voice right now, if this is your question, I already know someone and I have a crush on them. How do you tell if a crush is something that will develop into something else? The fairies are delighted to bring a bit of wisdom to you. See the grin on the magician's face? We are ready for this reading for you, Sophia. So let's see what we have. The Eight of Pentacles. Very nice energy here. Let's take a look. Let me just reflect. Isn't she pretty? So the first thing I'm aware of here with this particular card is her outfit. She is totally in purple. Purple is the color of your sacred chakra. This is an energy that inspires you to stay true to your inner being. Stay true to your inner sense of guidance. When you get a crush on someone, you can lose track of your own being. Have any of you ever experienced that? Where like, for example, once you have that first kiss and your energy, your chemistry is through the roof, you could lose your mind, right? You lose your mind. All of a sudden, you're fixated on that person. You are obsessing. In reality, the most delicious time is the crush. Nothing beats the energy of a crush. Your first message, the fairies are leaning into you to keep working on the relationship with your inner being. Can you see that that fairy is weaving a basket, isn't she? She's weaving a basket. She's using the harvest, she's using the wheat, and you might want to Google the spiritual significance of wheat. I believe it's a special message for you, Sophia. She's using the things of her past because the wheat is it's ripe. So the parts of your past that hurt you are being woven into a basket to help you pick love that lasts. How fast can you weave a basket? Can you weave a basket as easily as you can use your phone to create a phone call? Can you weave a basket by pressing one button? No, it's a process. So, right now, your current status is that you're working at building stability for yourself when it comes to love. Look at see the little mice? There are two little mice here. So that's showing me that the people that are coming into your life right now are like in a different species. they're 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 what you're not expecting. And so it's just so important that you find that stability within your own being as you explore new relationships. It's very important that you align yourself with someone who is aligned with your values. Sometimes we're very attracted to an energy that's not really good for us. I don't know why that happens, except deeply in my heart, I know that when relationships don't work out, it's supposed to build up your confidence for your next relationship. But I would say at this point that slow down, make sure that you know about this person. Do you Google the people that you meet? I do. There's a reason for that. If there's something bad about the person, you want to know that. And one time I Googled a person and I found out there was a lawsuit against this person because it was public record. And that was wonderful for me. It helped me say, oh, no, thank you. And even though they were attractive to me, the truth was they would have taken me backwards. Okay. So this shows someone who is diligently working at creating love. Look at her. I was going to point out her beautiful shoulder piece. See all the colors? And when I look at her face, look at how beautiful she is. Look at how calm. Can you see the sparkles in her hair? The work that you're doing right now, my beautiful Sophia, to create that basket is you can't beat it. You're attracting right now, you're attracting different energies, different people, and different views of yourself that are going to be knit together in this basket of your future. I'm going to say husband because I'm sensing that you want that happily ever after. And so that's what I'm very aware of. Also, the fact that it's raining right now, I think that the universe is showing you that you need to kind of take a bath in the spirit, like allow yourself to shower with new, fresh experiences in love. And you could say that, Catherine, how am I supposed to have new experiences in love if you're telling me to go slow? Uh-huh. Good question. There's lots of ways to love. When you go to the market and the person who is your clerk and checks you out, take a minute, look them in the eye and appreciate them. Say, thank you for being my clerk today. Often what I'll say is, you guys make it so fast. I'll check out and I'll say, you know what? I just love shopping here because you guys always do such a quick job of getting me in and out. And when you give a compliment to a service provider, watch their face. Girl, we have so many opportunities to love people every single day. Got it? And so, with that in mind, don't think that the love you need is just from someone, a stranger that you want to invite into your home. Practice loving the strangers that you would never invite home, and you will that brings more substance to your basket. Okay? Wonderful reading for you. I would say overall be cautious. Make sure you know the person. Make sure you know about them. You know what kind of work they do? What's their birth sign? Try to find out data about them as you go forward, because if you find a red flag, it's a lot easier to get out very early or before you even start. All right. What we do know for sure is that the person was brought into your life for a reason. They may remind you of something in your past. They may be someone who will introduce you to somebody. They may be someone who's going to be in the friend zone, but they're here for a reason. Okay? Wonderful. Great reading for you, Sophia. And thank you for being a member of my community. I needed to hear this at this very moment. LaDonna, I am so grateful. I'm not sure which of the cards that you keyed in on, but I am super grateful. YouTube, I'm in pain. Oh my goodness. So we are going to draw a card for YouTube. That's so significant to me, you guys. Honestly, because I have been going through so much technical questions and equipment problems and things that seem to interrupt my flow. And I'm always thinking, well, I don't want to disappoint my YouTube followers, and I don't know how to leverage myself. I'm only one Catherine. There's only so much I can do. And so the fact that your name is YouTube, Moni, it's so moving to me because I feel like this message is for me also. We can have nightmares and negative thoughts. And when you're in a chronic pain situation, my heart goes out to you. Let's everyone, please, everyone who's still here, thank you. It's almost 90 minutes. I can't tell you how fast the time goes on these fairy readings. But everybody who's here, please send hearts. Please send your beautiful healing energy to our friend Moni and anyone else who's dealing with chronic pain. It's such a difficult thing. Moni, you do want to check out Jessica Heslop, her YouTube channel. is called I Love the Life I Live. She went through a very difficult illness 3 years ago, and the doctors told her that she would never be able to have a child, even. And she went through a lot of pain. Well, guess what? She has a baby. Oh, I just get hit with goosebumps just saying that. So I do trust her, and she has many videos on healing. So I just trust her so much. So I hope her voice will bring you relief. But this is a serious thing. And the fairies are very smart, Alecky, and they like to tease us, but they also care for us deeply. I'm seeing all those hearts. Thank you guys. It's just very moving to me that the people in my community care for others so deeply. So, Mani, let's draw you a card. And it's anyone who is having pain, emotional pain, spiritual pain, or physical pain. This card is for you. Okay, this is a beautiful energy. Let me just pull it up close so you guys can see it. The beautiful energy, isn't it? The energy of justice. Let me just take it in. All right. So, what I'm seeing here for you, Mani, is that there is something in your energy that feels like you've been cheated. It's so unjust that you are having this painful, painful time. There's been injustice in your life. You've been treated unfairly. And even when you've tried to get medicine from the people in the world and they have not been able to help you, it is very significant. Let's all take a breath, please. I have been through some different types of pain, and I've been through physical pain. And I do know that in my situation, I'm fortunate because I can deal with it. Because of a surgery that I had 17 years ago, I do have days where I do have significant pain during the day. And so, quite often, I keep pushing myself to do my daily routine. In fact, for sure, I do. I have to work. I do the readings. I have a house that needs keeping, which, by the way, my house is so messy right now. I would be embarrassed to have you guys come into it. But I have things that need to be done. And when I'm in the most pain, I let myself go lay down. And when I lay down, I do feel relief. And so, but I don't do it every time. You guys, I'm just being real with you because I feel like, no, if I lay down, who's going to clean up my house? If I lay down, who's going to create the YouTube? If I lay down, who's going to walk the dog? If I lay down, who's going to do life for me? But the fact that I have relief when I lay down is significant. So, the first thing, Mani, what I want for you to do is I do want you to go look up Jessica. I love the life I live. Okay, that's her YouTube channel. And please, I want you to listen to any of her YouTube videos on healing. And I do want you to be fair with yourself. All right. I know you have to do life. I understand that. But in the times when you can just lay still, or perhaps if you're not comfortable lying down, perhaps you're more comfortable in a chair, whatever it is, let your body have the freedom to do nothing. And then your mind might play with you and make you feel guilty because your body is doing nothing. Oh, there's another resource. His name is Michael Seeley, and that's the name of his YouTube channel. I will add these to the community when this reading is finished today, because even though we may not be able to fix our body, the fairies know that you can fix your thinking. Okay? Having different thoughts can bring pain relief. Tapping can bring pain relief. Um, I, I've had an amazing experience with tapping, and I want to tell it to you, Mani, to give you hope. After my surgery 17 years ago, it was a belly surgery. And when I came home from the hospital, we did not stop at the pharmacy to pick up the pain meds. We just went straight home. Well, when I got home, I was in so much pain from the surgery. It was not manageable. It was really scary. So my husband went to the drugstore to get the meds, and I had a person who was my tapping teacher at the time. Her name was Virginia. She lived in Texas. I never met her. I was in California. And I said, Virginia, I'm in so much pain, and I don't know if tapping can help, but could you help me? So she started to do the tapping, and I couldn't tap very well, and it was so intense. So I said, Virginia, I need you to help me. Will you just think the sentences? Don't ask me to repeat afterwards. Just think the sentences, and I will tap in silence. I'm telling you, you guys, the pain stopped. I'm not even kidding. The pain stopped. Now, I was not able to sustain that. I don't know why the angels and fairies granted me that. When I got my pain meds, I took them, and I was fortunate because it worked. But tapping can be an amazing helper for you. So I'm going to try to find a tapping video for you, Moni, and I'm going to put it into the community because I do want to, I'm sure that some tapping expert out there has created something for chronic pain. Okay, so I want to help you. But I will tell you now that I don't have pain every day. But when I do have pain, and it's really hard, I'm walking around and it's hurting, and I don't want to take medication. I just ignore my inner wisdom that says, go get off your fucking feet. And I'm not proud to admit that, but I feel it's important because we must follow our inner guidance. We have to not blindfold us to our own truth. So, Moni, I just hope and pray that this is a message that it brings you hope. I look at the gold that is behind this sword, and I just feel that you're going to be getting some really good wisdom, that there's somebody that's going to come into your life with ideas for you that will make a difference, okay? Living with chronic pain is something that I don't have personal experience with, but I've been through pain. And I know that changing my mindset around it has been incredibly helpful, okay? Oh my gosh, Jessica has a video. It's about chronic fatigue system syndrome and burnout. And it is wonderful. So, again, I'll put it into the community so you can watch for that. So, my dear friends, we are well over an hour and a half. I have not eaten any food today yet. I'm looking forward to having a delicious breakfast. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. I have 22 people here and 22 likes. So, that number 22, it's a special magic number for my fairy loving friends. So do yourself a favor and look up the angel meaning of the number 22 because you'll have an added blessing. Thank you for being with me today. Next Sunday, I will be back doing fairy readings. But meanwhile, tomorrow, we will create a different theme and I'll have a different setting for you. And I just thank you from the bottom of my heart for all that you're doing to support my channel. When you share these readings, it's like you're reaching through the lens and giving me a hug, and I feel it. Go forth and prosper, my dear, dear friends, and I will see you next week. Wait, let me show you my ring again as I wave goodbye to you. My fairy ring, that is that rutilated quartz. Isn't it gorgeous with the feather on it? So you might want to Google the meaning of rutilated quartz because we have been abundantly blessed today by crystals, by fairies, and by the very heart of the divine itself. Love you all. I'll see you next week. Bye. Or tomorrow, of course, but fairy readings every Sunday. Bye now, guys. Love you.